1 2 1 2. There we go. Sorry. Hello, welcome. It's Nonna Fab here. Back in the studio after about 3 weeks off. I've been opening up a venue in Sheffield called The System, and it's kind of taken up a lot of time. But yeah, my intention for this year is to really kind of push a lot more of this kind of style stuff down the YouTube channel. So we're back, and yeah, it's good to be back. So I wanted to just sort of maybe build a little bit of a track on the fly today, and maybe people can see that process. I don't have a way of sharing my screen yet, but maybe I can work towards that eventually. I'm still learning a lot, sort of working a lot of this stuff out. But yeah, I think, just kind of wanted to talk about my kind of route into the live electronic world, and maybe a little bit about my setup. I've been DJing for the last sort of 10 years, and I've been making dance music, and I realised that there wasn't a lot of people on YouTube actually sort of talking about house music in terms of the live electronic world that I'm in. And I thought maybe it would be a nice sort of opportunity to capture my journey with it all. So, so last year I started getting into all of this. So still very new to it all, and still sort of being very open-minded about being a beginner in this world. I did a sort of a small UK tour, which was very much sort of push orientated. It was taking tracks that already existed, pretty much chopping them up and and sort of triggering scenes, and that was fun. And I also had a little separate controller which allowed me to control volumes of them, but generally it wasn't very improvised. They all kind of existed in their own right, and it was very much kind of a carbon copy of each gig 12 times, roughly, maybe with some transitional differences, but not in it made me want to sort of push further into the route and go ever so slightly more down the route of improvisation. And where I'm at now is I've kept the push in this in the setup. I'm still running Ableton for now. And then I wanted to outsource all my drums to, and had a little bit of a play around with the TR8S. TR8S was nice, but I thought the sound wasn't quite it just needed a bit of processing, and I think I just wanted to not have to think about processing. Looked at a few options for that, but and then kind of landed on the alpha bass. Weirdly landed on the alpha bass for hi-hats rather than what it's renowned for, which is his kick. I mean, obviously the kick sounds huge, but I just think the hi-hats really sing, and they sound very immediately good, which is what I wanted. All the sort of the sampling and the circuitry inside this box is amazing. And then I kind of wanted to control all this on the fly. Being a DJ, these mixing desks are kind of a home to me anyway. And sort of landed on the Model 12 because it would allow me to integrate a lot of Ableton through it on a multi-track basis. And I basically, the setup I run is I run my kick channel on 1, as you can hear. Exciting stuff, eh? And then I separated that from the hats on 2, or the rest of the drum machine, sorry. And I thought this would just give me a little bit of control, as I can sort of build drums on the fly. And then I run percussion through Ableton on 3, which should work. It wasn't working earlier, but let's see. But yeah, it also allows me to dub them out with a little feedback loop through here as well, which is quite a nice little touch, using a couple of pedals back here if I want to get really crazy. I've got space echo, but I'll try not to blow your ears off with that. And then I run bass on 4, which again, yeah, is just okay. That's not wanting. Oh, it's because I'm running the mic through here. Bass on 4, and then yeah, just the rest of a lot of the songs, sort of your chords, your pads, and sort of textures and stuff through the rest of the channels. And then on 9 and 10, I've got my pedals. But yeah, I'm gonna have a little go at building a bit of a track on the fly. As you've already heard, I got a bit of a drum pattern going. That was actually just something that was already in here from the last time I was using it. But I'm gonna see how we get on. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. If you've got any suggestions, if you want to tell me to tidy up my studio, I'm going to look at eventually getting like a Jasper rack, I think, or Jasper stand, and kind of building everything on there, because I've got a few new synthesizers on their way as well. Just wanting to really hone in on like quite particular. I think I've kind of decided the area of sound that I really want to focus my production on, and I think having a few things which do them well, rather than having these sort of wider pieces of kit like the Nordwave has been brilliant, but I was actually using that when I was gigging as part of a live band, and it was great for, has four machines in it you can run at once, and it's super deep, and actually I don't really need it in terms of like that level of power, so I'd rather save the cash and just get a couple of bits. I've got a Pro 800 on the way, and maybe a DeepMind 12 just to cover the Juno side of things. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to stop talking and maybe make some music. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. If you've got anything you'd like to see a bit more of, please obviously comment. And yeah, I'm going to try building some tracks on or a bit of a track on the fly, and yeah, see how we get on. But yeah, cheers. Yes. So yeah, a little bit of a jam there. Just a bit of an insight into the workflow, really. Tried to really simplify everything down these days into kind of, I don't know, I think when you first start out making music, that you need 3 bass lines, 4 pads, you know, everything needs to be loads of everything. And I think this workflow is really good because it allows you to just condense down into eight sections almost, and you're kind of stuck is the word, but you know, creativity through limitation. And yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see. I think eventually I will upgrade this to an SSL, just purely for sound and capability of, just sort of holding everything, sort of being the centerpiece of everything, and maybe cut this out at some point. Although I think live I'll be less on my laptop, so maybe this will be handy for triggering audio clips and stuff that I have previously recorded. So yeah, but if you've got any suggestions, I am kind of coming into this with a real sort of open mindset. And yeah, whilst I say I've been working in the industry for years and years, and I have been putting out records, actually performing them in this format and jamming in this format is quite of a new thing for me. And so I'd be absolutely open to any suggestions people have. I think a bit of a better layout so my arms aren't as stretched. But yeah, please feel free to leave a comment, get in touch however you feel. That'd all be so greatly appreciated. And yeah, there'll be more to come. I think I'll maybe put together a little bit of a longer jam with some ideas I've actually sort of fleshed out a little bit more so next time. But hopefully you enjoyed this, even from a perspective of seeing the sort of the flow and the way of building in this. If it's not something that's familiar to you, then you kind of got a bit of a good feel of it then. If it is something you're really experienced about, at least you've seen the way that I do it. Yeah, and thanks so much for tuning in. I'm going to be trying to do a lot more content through this YouTube channel, so please come get involved. I'm open to suggestions. If people are interested in exploring particular areas, let me know. And yeah, let me know if anything can be improved. But yeah, thanks so much. My name's Nona Fab, and hopefully see you soon. Cheers.